Oh, sorry. Okay. 100 years ago today, a baby boy was born. They named him Charles Clayton. He was to be adorned. As he grew up in Iowa, the family was quite poor. He was a tad bit timid and a little bit unsure. He met a young lady who would soon change his life. When he met Sweet Hazel, he made this girl his wife. They were happy together. Life was just so fine. They had a large family. The children equaled 9. The heart stopped beating, and we had some bad luck. Life was short, would cut way too short for our Daddy Chuck. Dad would have been proud of this family of his. Mom wore his name proud, and so do his kids. If Dad was here today, he'd be proud as he could be, how his family has honored his legacy. The family has gathered. We are filled to the brim as we celebrate today in memory of him. Wow. Yay!
That's perfect.
I like the face too.
Okay, Grace.
The power button's on the side. And you jewelry.
Thank you for this family. Thank you so much for it. And I want to thank you for the food that you provided. Listen to your body.
Okay. I remember Dad being the most honest man I have ever met. I remember him returning something that he hadn't paid for. You know, they didn't charge him, and so he went in and paid for it. And as you know, we didn't have much money, so I mean that is really honest. And I remember him telling us always be honest. You know, and that I think has stuck with me more than anything else. His honesty. Okay, let's see. I remember him in his bib overalls coming in from working, and I remember him bringing in a cat one time, a little kitten. There were kittens out there, and saying, you know, they were up in the hayloft, and we needed to go look at them, and he had one in his pocket, a little baby in his pocket. Oh, so, pretty neat. 62 July.
And I didn't meet Jan until November.
That year.
Same year,
Well, when I first met him, he scared me to death with his low voice, but come to find out he's probably one of the nicest men I ever met in my life. And he was more than a father-in-law. He was...
We can do it on the floor.
Can't tell you. Great guy.
I just remember he was really nice, and we all just loved him. We didn't realize how nice he was until later on. Because when you're kids, it's kind of hard to realize, you know, people's temperaments, and you think everybody has the same kind of life as you do, only they live in nicer houses. And then as you get older, you realize that you have something really, really special. And I rode with Daddy to work about a year, and you know, we'd get to talk. He was just a nice man, and we loved him. Oh dear, I'm trying to think. I remember when he used to listen to records, and he listened to Homer and Jethro and the funny people. And then, I mean, he just got such a kick out of that. And the third time he'd listen to it, he would say, "Oh, they say that every time." It was new to him every time. He just enjoyed life. And loved Mom. Oh boy, he really did. Told her, you know, he'd compliment her on how well she was at working out the finances, and how lucky he was to be married to her, and just things like that. Yeah.
What I remember most is his honesty. He was so honest, and his morals. He had very high morals, and and taught us that also. He was very modest. Yeah, remember one time he came downstairs in my bathrobe and made me go upstairs and get more decent.
Put your keys on.
And another thing that I remember is how he respected Mom and made sure that we did also. And whenever he would go to work, well, when I was probably about junior high age, well, our eyes would meet and he'd say, "You helped your mother." And I always really liked that.
Something I remember about Daddy is that he carried a lunch bucket, and he would come home the same time every day from work, and he'd carry in his lunch bucket. He'd always save one thing from the lunch Mom prepared for him that Joanna and I could share, and it would be his cookies or cake Mom sent or a banana or something, but he always left something. So Mom would tell this story that one day when he came home, he'd eaten everything in the lunch bucket. But I got in it anyway and looked through the lunch bucket, and when it was empty, I just put my hands up and said, "Any nothings." And so throughout my life, quite often when something like that would happen, then Mom would always say that and laugh. But he was a good man and a good dad. Joanne and I would always kiss him goodnight before we went to bed, and then we'd always feel his whiskers. So that's my memory.
Well, I remember him as a hard-working man. Basically, I don't have a lot of memories, of course, but my biggest memory is when a bully in town was picking on me and Jill. And he kind of knocked Jill around, and so we went home and told Daddy. And then that boy walked past, and Jill and I were hanging, each one of us on one of Dad's legs. And Dad yelled at him and said, "Don't you ever touch my girls again." So that's my best memory. I think he was a hardworking, loving father. But I don't remember a lot more.
Well, he looked like he was pretty rough and tough, but he was actually gentle. If you ever talked with him, you could tell that. I mean, my most vivid memories of him when I was young was when he was in the garden. He had the big garden, and he worked in the factory. When he came home from the factory, he'd still spend hours out in the garden, doing whatever it took to get his corn and peas and all that stuff again. And of course, I remember real well how much work I had to do in the garden, but he did it because he wanted to, I guess. He just seemed like he needed to do something like that because we didn't have a lot of money, so that's one way of saving pennies. And I guess that's really about all I need to say. I always was very impressed with him when I was young, and I think when you're a kid, if your parents impressed you the way that my parents both did, that's something to be said.
I'm sorry. This matches the butterfly. Oh, I want to put them on. Am I going to get one?
Can I have one? Come on, give me one. Jill, can I have one? Nope, missed it. Here we go.
Do you want the hair?
Oh, that hair is something.
Oh my gosh!
Do you want to go show them?
See what she oh, that's so sweet.
Does that look like a fun day to you? Thank you. You're so
Can I have one?
Appreciate your beauty.
154.
It's really hard to get it. But I bet you could do it. Glasses. Hair all over. They're all stuck together. Tony.
I think somebody's breaking me.
Looks that way.
You need to get a cut.
Dad, look it. Calendar 2015, classic cars, a big one and a little one. Is that you?
Very cute.
Mom's going for the classic. Hey, Joe, can I have this? I was gonna see for you. Yeah, they are. Classic car. Hey, Joe, I see that.
Look this way, Tony. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, that's right. A little bit. He probably thought he was done with it. I know.
Addie, should we get a picture?
Yeah. It's a Bel Air.
Hold on, Addie. Hold on. Jillian. Too cute to eat. Thank you.
That's the first one you guys did chat with Bel Air. And I think the black one is a the black one is full trade.
Beautiful. No, it's a good one.
Hey Mom, she's gonna trade you your calendar for that.
Hey, this one requires Mike and I. Did you want to try one?
Okay, here.
Yeah.
Can I have
Oh, I
one, Linda?
can't wait to see this.
Can I have one?
Hold on, Addie. Oh, you want one? You're chewing, Grace.
Everybody's gonna want this. It's a dinosaur. Liam. Way to go, Liam.
And look what it'll do. It'll, if you pull the trigger, it's gonna bite. So if you put your finger in there, and then wherever the trigger is, if you can find the trigger, and if you put your hand in there, it'll bite. Chomp. Boy.
I'll open it.
I got Star Wars apples too.
Life is good.
Damn, Coop.
Dinosaurs and candy.
At least have one of the cat door dogs take the head off.
They really went all out with the toys.
Didn't they though? Aw.
Do you want them? Jelly, show them.
I love it.
He's a nasty one.
Now you really look
We used to have one like that. I think Liam did. I think he left it in the back. A little line drawing.
She's got long flowing hair.
Hey. Jill. You get him like free. He don't need a whole lot.
That is awesome.
Yeah, just give him like 3 or 4. It don't matter. Not a whole lot. All you need, okay?
That's somebody, okay?
That's all you get, okay, buddy?
You guys all giggled more than anybody I know.
What'd you get?
What'd you get?
At this point, Dad would have said, "Stop giggling." A little twinkle pillow. Joyce.
Oh, is that it?
Ivy.
It is long, isn't it? I know.
She can move it around.
So,
Whoa.
whoever gets this. Lemongrass. So, one for each hand.
She could be like on the Price is Right.
Yeah.
Brock, you won something.
There's another one.
How does it smell? Does it smell? Well, hey, nothing else, you'll smell good after you get out of the shower.
Or does it smell like grass?
Smell like lavender grass.
Oh my gosh!
I hope he's not hungry. Right, everybody's. He wants to bark.
She does. Yeah, that's her name. You don't believe it. If you say,
French fry. French fry. I'll be smiling at your window when you're here. Isn't that cute? Look at that.
Oh, that is cute.
Oh, look at these little love letters.
Oh, that's cute too.
Are you gonna make those this year? Who knows? Now that I have this handy dandy cookbook,
There's no stopping you now.
I'll give you my address. These are
You know what? You know we use that.
yeah.
Like on Pinterest. Like Pinterest?
Oh, he's eating French. Hey, Brock, you can lay those over here by your mom's popcorn. She'll take care of them.
Yeah.
Does he like French fries? That's better than fingers, really.
We have candy corn. Some of the kids remember how Dad would always go into town and bring his home candy corn, and we divided up 6 piles of candy corn. And so that it always reminds me of Dad when I see candy corn. So we have 4 of those to give away. First one is Mom.
All right.
There you go.
Thank you very much. All
I
right.
have a Captain Miracle light. I have a Captain Miracle light. And I got Captain Miracle white. I got Captain Miracle white. I got Captain Miracle white.
Everybody has to divide them all up.
We'll make sure.
There's one over there. Daddy.
Sorry.
Daddy.
Pregnant lady, we need our sweets.
Daddy.
And here's, this is the Nicholson plaid.
Daddy.
from Scotland. And so it's named to a rosette by a true Scotsman. And so this is the next thing we'll draw for.
Wow.
Who's gonna win it?
Ed. And Todd's Day is April the 6th. Isn't that neat?
Oh, yeah.
We have a mouse cat.
Oh, that's pretty.
I guess it won't fit around her neck.
Did she say this is Nicholson tart?
Brad Eckstein.
Yeah.
Probably says a little bit about
We
it.
have a Nicholson.
Back here, it says a lot about it.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
And this, by the way, this word up here is generosity.
I guess he's hungry.
So that's on the
I
Nicholson
guess he's
badge.
hungry.
Wow.
Cooper, he's in your first time.
Dawn! Daddy's favorite. We have a salt and pepper shaker. These are antiques, so there's no bottom to one of them.
How's that?
Oh, no, there is.
Yeah.
He's going to have a little Star Wars in
Yeah.
them. Little Scottish girl and Scottish boy. Always wants this. Dick. Dick got it. That was not
This is rigged.
Did you throw on the floor?
Oh, look at him with his plaid. Stand up there.
Linda said she can make that bow again. I said you better because I'm planning on hanging it on the wall somewhere.
That's nice.
Very nice.
Two antique handkerchiefs from Scotland. One of them has the thistle on it, which is the Scottish rose, and the other one, I think, is that chestnut. So,
Oh, that's cool.
Darren.
He doesn't think it's rigged.
Dave Ricks.
Well, I got what I want.
He's probably seen those before.
That is neat.
My house was
Oh, that's rigged.
I know, that's why I said it was me. Imagine those shoes
I don't know what it would be though.
Rusty.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Besides what this movie is.
This one technically has two.
Four glasses.
Four glasses.
All right. More glasses.
We're not trading.
Oh, Greg, right.
Bam. Good on girls.
Is that Liam running away in there?
And we have circus peanuts. That's something else, Dad.
Actually, nobody but you.
Darren ate a few.
That was me.
I think Darren had one.
Yeah, he made fun of us this year.
Alicia.
Wow!
I'll share. I'll share.
Jill.
What? You got 10 points.
Oh!
Now, Candy corn does circus peanuts.
We're cleaning up on the circus.
All
Hey.
Have you ever had these?
You're not gonna like them.
Yeah, he will.
What do they do? They taste like styrofoam. Wait, let me see. You've never had them? I've never even seen them. Jim will open one of them right
Yeah, you can have one.
Silly.
Oh, those are great.
Yeah, we really should.
Are all those Mike and Ike gone?
Oh, they're great. I don't want bubble gum.
Cooper, do you want to try one?
Try one.
Here, Cooper, let's look.
I can't believe the elephant survived on those things.
I'm not having one.
You're not having one?
No, try one.
Try one.
It's they're good.
No, it tastes like candy.
They're good.
Showing off for you.
Here, it's made of like marshmallow. It's marshmallow.
I think she likes it.
It's a wind up lemon
I'll try to try it.
Here, we'll split it out. And it walks. Oh, Caitlin. Yeah. That's cute.
Yeah, you like it.
Uh-huh.
I just like the
Thank
teeth.
you.
They're good, aren't they?
It's a wind up sugar.
It tastes like bubbles.
Oh,
Do you like it?
Mandarin orange slices. This is another thing Dad used to bring home. Only they weren't mandarin orange slices back then. Jim.
Okay.
Jim's going to town here.
The very, very last thing.
I do.
The last person drawn.
Have some.
Cowboy hat and the microphone, which really doesn't work.
But it looks good.
Disclaimer. Yeah.
Hey, the hat works.
The hat works, yeah.
Corn, which is corn. Did everybody get something?
I like it.
Yeah. Thank you. You like the service team?
Thank you.
The
Yeah,
Now, was there anybody that didn't get a gift? Because we did spill all the.
It was great.
We had a technical difficulty.
We
The
filled
computer
up.
went down.
No, I'm okay, thanks.
So did Janet.
Those are good.
You got a bunch more circus peanuts?
Cooper likes them.
No, I'm fine.
Where you want another one?
So everybody's got something? And nobody does like that.
You guys did great. Better take a bow for the girls.
Yeah.
Hey, take a bow for all your hard work.
But it'd be nice if you kind of said something, and Dawn, and Eddie, maybe, that had some good, had some memories and tried to share. We did. But we didn't get to hear them because they were on the movie. Oh, you mean just saying? I forgot what I said, but it was the truth. But it doesn't matter because you could just say what you want to.
It could be different, yeah.
You're not going to film us the second time saying it. Well, I know that I said Dad's honesty always impressed me so much. He was the most honest person I have ever met in my whole entire life. I only heard him tell one untruth in his whole life, and that was when Mom didn't go to church with us one day because she was mad, and he said she was sick. So that was, and I didn't have that on the camera before, but that's the only lie I ever heard him say. And man, we kids were around him all the time, so we pretty much heard everything he said. Let's see, what was my memory? I have no idea. I forgot my memory. Dawn, you can go next. Yeah, Dawn, let's hear you.
Let me think. Well, I have trouble talking about that guy because I really loved him.
Yeah. Tell stories again.
He was more like a brother to me than a father-in-law. We used to have a lot of fun playing cards and joking around, and we just had a great time. He just was such a
Oh, yeah.
loving guy. He cared about his family and even his in-laws. But he was also, thank God for Hazel too. She was a sweetheart. I told our preacher, I suppose you guys remember it, but I said, Hazel was such a nice person, I hated to tell mother-in-law joke. But I did anyway. So she was a nice gal too.
Yeah, right.
What a blessing. Oh, shut up.
Who's next? Joycey?
Oh, let me see, help me remember.
But honesty also.
You've got your
Yeah,
prompt sheet here, Joyce.
his honesty.
She wasn't very nice.
Now I can't read my writing. Well, I told about his honesty also, and also about his morals. He had such high morals. And I also told about the one time when I came downstairs in my bathrobe. And, you know, it was covering me up completely, but he said, you go upstairs and don't come down until you're presentable. And what else did I say?
I can't remember what else you said. Oh, I heard you say about when he would be going back out to work.
Oh, yeah,
when he was
sometimes he'd come in for breakfast, or maybe he was just going to work in the morning. And we'd all be in the kitchen, and he would always like look at me and say, you helped your mother. Which is, today that's a really nice memory of mine. I like to remember.
Right, exactly.
Jenny?
Where is
You know what, I forgot what I said, but like I said, it was the truth. Just how nice he was, and I need a cheat sheet.
Well, you talked about riding to work with him, didn't you?
Yeah, I wrote to work with him.
There's never a teleprompter when you need one.
I used to ride to work with him for about a year, and that was nice. Yeah, we got to talk, and it was just fun. And that's all I can.
That's it for now.
Yeah, that's good.
How old are you?
Does anybody else have things to say?
I'll just say the same thing I said earlier. Probably the most vivid memories I have of Dad involved the garden. He worked so hard in the garden, and it was a large garden. But he would work at the factory, come home, and put another couple of hours in out there, you know, digging, hoeing, and whatever he needed to do to get the plants to grow. And that's another way that he saved money so that we could have food on the table. He just seemed like, to look at him, he seemed like he would be rough and tough, but he's really a gentle person, and you could tell that as soon as he started talking that he really was a nice person. And that's really about it. I mean, that's one of the many things that he did that I can be proud of.
Mm-hmm. He was such a hard worker.
Okay, who's next? Who's next? Anyone else have things?
Acted like she's a little dog. Is she? One thing I like about it, it always made you feel welcome. Well, if you ever come up, you just a tickle of death to see you. Pretty nice fella.
And you remember when he and Mom used to have the Skogsbergs over?
Oh, yes.
They were like Jehovah's Witnesses, and so they would come over like, I think every other Sunday, and Mom and Dad would talk religion with them, and it kind of opened up to different views. I thought it was pretty interesting. And of course, their kids came along, and so that gave us something to do. Walt Skogsberg.
Talking about the garden, I remember when Daddy would be out in the garden, and Joanne and I, when he'd find a hop toad, he'd call us so we could come play with it, but he'd say, bring it back to the garden and put it back in the garden, because they eat bugs off of the plants, and that keeps it a good garden. So one time when we had a toad, do you remember this, Joanne? We put it through the pump that was pumping out through the basement. And it went up through the pump and it came out. And we thought that was so funny. And Daddy really, he scolded us for that, for being cruel and
taken, you know, a life of something so carelessly.
She got, what are these?
They're snacks,
What?
like baby Cheetos.
Well, I do remember too,
What are
he always
those?
loved kittens.
You want one?
And I remember he would come in and say, there's some kittens up in the hayloft, you guys need to go look for it. So we'd go up there and he said, you know,
They're kinda
listen, be
like
real quiet so
Cheetos.
you can hear them meowing, so
But
we
I
would
don't
do
want
that. But one
one.
time he came in, he
don't
had
want
one in his car. And he
Try
came
it.
in, he, you know, brought it out, this little fluffy kitten ball of a kitten.
You don't like it?
So that was really neat.
Ivy likes them.
Joanne, do you have something to say?
You eat it.
Yeah, you did, Joanne, you said something.
Oh, I just told her when Jill and I were little, and there was the bully in town. He was picking on me, and Jill was trying to protect me, so he knocked Jill down, and she got gravel kind of scruffed in her hands, and so we ran home, and we were kind of crying to Dad and saying, you know, he was picking on us, and then the boy started walking past, and Jill said, there he is. And then we were both hanging on, each one of us had hanging on one of Dad's legs, and then he yelled at that boy and said, don't you pick on my girl, will you?
He did. He said, hey, come here.
Yeah.
Don't you pick on my girls. He never did either. He didn't
Left us
come
alone
close
after
to us.
Because Daddy sounded really rough.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Yeah, his voice would just thunder when he wanted it to. Could be pretty scary. Got your attention.
3 6 months for it to hang around Georgia.
Yeah, but you have Dad to thank for some of that. He looked out for you, Dawn.
Yeah, one time, see, Don and I had broke up, and I told him not to come around anymore. And so I comes home from school, and there he is, sitting in the kitchen, drinking coffee with Mom and Dad. And so then another time he comes, and he wasn't supposed to. And we had 2 sofas in the living room, you know, for all of us. And so I was sitting on the one sofa, and he came and sat down by me, so I got up and went to the other sofa. So then he comes over to that sofa, so I gets up and I'm going to go to the other sofa again. And Daddy goes in, and there he was in the door, and he goes, come here. So he told me I better be good to that boy.
He said what?
You be good to that boy.
I remember when Joyce would have boyfriends over, he would call him fella.
Yeah, he said there's a fella down here to see you.
He always said, your fella. Your fella's here.
Your fella.